You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a blank page, or maybe the front door of the gym, or just a messy room, and you tell yourself, I'll get to it as soon as I feel motivated. We've all done it. We wait for that lightning bolt of inspiration to hit. But what if that's all wrong? What if we're waiting for something that's never going to show up first? Well, today, we're going to flip that whole idea on its head.
I'm serious. Just think about it for a second. What if the entire way we think about getting things done is fundamentally backwards? This one little question, it's the key. It's the key to unlocking a way more powerful and frankly more reliable way to actually get things done. So, on the left, you've got the idea we've all been sold. First, you feel motivated, then you go do the thing. Simple enough. But on the right, that's the radical idea we're digging into today. The idea that action itself is the spark. That by just starting, you literally generate the very motivation you were sitting around waiting for. Now, this entire explainer is really built around one short, super powerful phrase from our source material. And look, it sounds a little weird at first, I'll give you that. But once you really get it, I promise, it can completely change how you approach getting anything done. And there it is. Momentum was motivation. Now pay close attention to that little word in the middle, was, past tense. It's not momentum is motivation. That difference might seem tiny, but trust me, it is everything. So let's break down what's really going on here.
To really understand the power of that phrase, first we need to get a handle on the thing we're always chasing, right? Motivation. What is it exactly? At the end of the day, motivation is just a feeling. It's an internal state, a desire, a willingness to do something. And what do we know about feelings? Well, the main thing we know is that they are incredibly unreliable. And this right here, this really lays bare the problem with motivation. Because it's an emotion, it's completely unpredictable. It comes and goes whenever it wants. So if you're waiting for it to show up before you start, well, that's a pretty passive strategy. Honestly, if you only get to work when you feel like it, you're probably not going to get very much work done. So, if motivation is so unreliable, what's the alternative? Well, let's look at the other half of our key phrase. Let's turn to the world of physics and talk about something much more dependable: momentum. See, unlike motivation, momentum isn't a feeling, it's a force. It's Newton's first law, right? An object in motion stays in motion. It's real, it's predictable, and most importantly, it's something you can actually create. Think about trying to get a huge boulder rolling downhill. That very first push, man, that takes almost everything you've got. It's the hardest part by far. But once it starts to move, even just a tiny bit, the next push is easier, and the one after that is even easier. And pretty soon, the boulder's own weight and motion start doing the work for you. It becomes this self-sustaining force. That is momentum. Okay, so we have our two key players: motivation, the unreliable feeling, and momentum, the reliable force. Now, let's put them together and see how this one idea just completely flips the script on how we get started. This slide right here is the absolute core of it all. The old model on the left has us stuck in neutral, just waiting. But the new model on the right, that's an active process. You take one small action, any action. That action creates just a little bit of momentum. And as you build on that momentum, something incredible happens. You start to feel motivated. So let's bring back our phrase. Momentum was motivation. Do you see it now? The motivation you feel is the result of the action you already took. It's you looking back and realizing, hey, I'm actually doing this and it feels good. I kind of want to keep going. The momentum came first. The feeling of motivation wasn't the requirement, it was the reward.
All right, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually make it happen? Let's get practical. Let's talk about how you can start manufacturing the motivation you need on demand anytime you want.
Okay, the secret is to make the first step so small it feels almost laughably easy. So first, try the 2-minute rule. Just commit to doing something for 2 minutes. The goal isn't to finish, it's just to start. Second, shrink the task down. Don't think about cleaning the kitchen, just focus on putting one dish in the dishwasher. Third, and yeah, this is the hardest one, you have to act despite your feelings. Acknowledge you don't feel like it, and then do it anyway. And finally, celebrate the start. That first tiny step is the real win, because that's the push that gets the whole boulder rolling. So the next time you're stuck, you're procrastinating, you're waiting, just remember this. Don't wait for the feeling of motivation to magically appear. Go out there and create momentum through one tiny, simple action. That is the real engine of progress. The feeling you're looking for, it'll catch up later. So I'll leave you with this. Don't think about the whole massive project. Don't worry about the finish line. Just think about the very first, tiniest step. What's one thing you can do for the next 2 minutes right now to get that boulder rolling? Because that first push, that's all it ever takes.